Being experts on Trader Workstation is important at Maverick Trading. All Maverick traders use Trader Workstation to place their stock and option trades and have been doing that for 12 plus years. Our traders need to be perfect on the platform as they trade our capital and keep 70 to 80% of the profits they generate. We're happy to release some of our TWS training to the public, as we know TWS can be an intimidating software. If you're ready to become a professional stock and option trader, click on the application link in the description below. Now on to our TWS tutorial. Okay, so let's jump in and talk about the Stock Yield Enhancement Program. This is a way that you can earn extra income if you are a buy and hold investor. So this really applies to those that have a brokerage account where they just own some stock that's just sitting there doing nothing other than they have the ownership, right? They collect the dividends, all of that. Well, there's no added element here other than you can generate additional cash flow on that stock you're sitting there holding, meaning you'll still collect the dividends, you're still the owner of record, you'll still have all of those aspects, but you'll get interest. And here's how it works. First, you need to have at least a $50,000 trading account. Second, it needs to be approved in margin. So it needs to be a marginable account with over $50,000 of equity. They will pay you 50% of the market-based rate. So they don't pay you all of it, but they'll pay you a portion of it, which is way better than most brokers. Most brokers simply do not pass any of this income on to their investors. Now, this is automated, meaning IB does all of it. All you have to do is sign up for the program. Completely transparent, earn supplemental income, trade your loan stock with no restrictions. So if you decide you want to go and sell the shares, there's no restrictions. You don't get banned from doing that or anything like that. As soon as you place the transaction, that loan and all of those things are held. You no longer have loaned out your shares, you've sold the shares, etc., and the trade is done. So there's no restrictions or anything that way. So you sign up for this, and here's a good example of how it works. Let's say that XYZ is trading at $75 per share, and you own 5,000 shares. Now, let me state that the best stocks, if you are a holder of stocks that are aggressively shorted, imagine that you're one of those that just owns a lot of GameStop stock or Tesla or some of these stocks that people want to short and there's not a lot of short inventory, they're the best candidates for this. So they just use a blank symbol. XYZ is not a real company. But if you are one of those that happens to buy and hold and you own some of those stocks that people want to short, meaning they're high beta, high volatility, a lot of varying opinions, a lot of aggressive opinions about the stock, they would be great candidates because they can yield a lot of income. If they're on the hard to borrow list, meaning there's not a lot of short shares available to be borrowed, they will have more yield. Now, if you're buying and holding Apple, some boring-ish stocks, it might not be as attractive. Frankly, even if you sign up for the program, they may not use your shares just because there's not that need. There's not the demand for those. So let's say you're long 5,000 shares, and let's say that this stock is an aggressive, high volatility stock that people like to short. Well, the market value of the stock is $375,000. XYZ is in demand, so the market-based rate is 9%. You sign up for this program, and they will borrow your 5,000 shares, meaning you're still the owner, but that's how shorting works. Somebody is borrowing the shares and selling them short in the market. They have to repay the shares eventually. Now, IB is paying you interest. You're going to sit there and hold these shares through thick and thin anyway. You might as well get this interest. Well, 4.5%, because you get half of the yield, times $375,000 worth of stock is $16,875 per year on a stock that you were just going to sit there and hold in your account. So to make a long story short, this applies to those investors that are buy and hold investors that just sit and own shares of stock. They can be generating additional income with really no added limitations. They'll still collect any dividends. They'll still be able to sell the shares at any point in time if they so want to do so. So it's a nice program if your shares are those that are high beta, high volatility, people want to get short. You should at least dig into the details, consider this, because you might be leaving thousands of dollars on the table that you otherwise could be collecting, again, for no other reason other than you're just sitting there holding the stock anyway. So why not get that money? Something to consider. Hope you enjoyed the Stock Yield Enhancement Program video. Have a great rest of your day.